If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this contest, and new
acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we here. Happy New Year to all. We are talking about a good one today. We are going to talk about the surprise truth about SmackDown's first 3 hour show. First 3 hour show, we had a women's title match. Let's talk about it, guys. We here at the red carpet ring. Get the lights best you come into the ring. And we are definitely going to discuss WWE SmackDown, the first of the year, first ever 3 hour show on the USA Network. Let's talk about it. We are here live for Facebook and X as well. So let's tune into that. And we you guys get the likes as we come into the ring. Now, of course, we also going to talk about what happened on SmackDown, coverage over the review, and of course, current news. Just stay tuned for that. And we definitely going to cover the bonus round, which will be what's next for Tiffany Stratton as the new WWE Women's Champion. Let's get into it. And of course, we'll cover what went wrong with Raw, what went right with Raw too. But let's see who came to her before we begin. Figure 4 TV, salute to you. Great channel. Check him out, guys. Now, before we do get into it, guys, let's look over the match card for WWE SmackDown for January 3rd. Now, let's look over that real quick. All right. With that being said, we have a couple matches here. We have a match between Shinsuke Andrade, non-title match for the United States title, no title match, non-title match. We have a 6-man tag for the main event. We have OG Bloodline versus New Bloodline, and of course, we have a women's title match. Naomi, one half of the women's tag team champions, going one-on-one against the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. Let's talk about that. Definitely something interesting that's going on here. So with that being said, guys, I can't wait to see what's going to go on for WWE SmackDown. But let's get into it, guys. Let's discuss more about it. But it's a very, like I said, very, very, very intriguing show. Like I said, to kick off the first ever WWE SmackDown of the new year. But let's talk about it. All right, what we gonna do? We'll first talk about Cody Rhodes opens 2025 Friday night SmackDown. So with that being said, guys, Cody came out. You know, he didn't do his usual, what do you want to talk about? He didn't really go there this time. He was a little bit different on his promo to kick off SmackDown. So what he did was he came out to the ring. He got a course to pop. He said, knowing what was going on, but he said the funny thing, time in life as industry, he said WWE is on the cusp of changing everything because SmackDown's tonight Phoenix and Raw go to Netflix, which was true. And he said excitement is temporary because he's going to be involved so much because he's not clear to Russell Kev because of KO with the neck last week. But he will say at Royal Rumble, it will be him and KO in the ladder match. And before he really could go in, he was interrupted by no other than Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior. Now, he came out. He said that He looks at Cody. He hugged Cody, which is so funny. Cody looked confused, like what's going on. Drew said, Cody's not on his list. He's not here to hurt him. He's here to help him. He said, Cody's going to screw up his entire life work. He meant that everything Cody's done, all the dues he paid, blah, blah, blah. He said that Cody is the quarterback of WWE right now. He said this generation is the best generation, not the golden era, not the attitude era, not the PG era, not ruthless aggression era. He talking about this current era right now. And with that being said, I gotta agree with you on that one. He spoke bars on that one. Undisputed on that one. He was not telling a lie.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
And Drew was not telling lies on that one. And he also said too that he disagreed with Kevin Owens walk around with win Eagle Belt. He didn't win it. Say look real silly, real stupid, etc., etc. I know KO did not feel happy about that. But before he get into it, he says Cody neck is hanging on by a thread, and he said Cody needs a friend. And Cody cut him off. He said he tells Drew transfer window's open, and he says Drew want to help him, but he said he gonna tell Drew the truth. It's like Drew told him the truth. He said he watched Drew carry dirty through his darkest times. He saw the last 2-3 years Drew has become a beast on the microphone in the ring, but he said don't believe Drew. You need more people. He said Drew, and he can feel the tension situation going to go crazy. And he tells Drew if he wants shot championship, he might as well do it. Everybody wants it. Drew tells him that he's telling the truth, but he still wants to help him. And before we get any further, KO comes out. He attacks Cody Rhodes like he did last week. Well, when he pushed Nick Aldis into him last week. And Drew had that look on his face, and he walked off. And KO gave Drew a little side eye too. But we don't see where that's going to go next. Good way to kick off SmackDown. Let's get to the next part of the show, shall we? Next part of the show was Andrade versus Shinsuke Nakamura. The current United States champion Shinsuke goes against Andrade. Shinsuke, the current champion, versus Andrade. They had a one-on-one match. Not a bad match either. Very good match. It did end with Shinsuke winning the match. Sorry, it was a non-title match. Excuse me. Shinsuke won the match. He won clean. He did not cheat this like he did before. No. I know Andrade exposed turnbuckle during the match, but his new thing, I think one thing that's getting over Shinsuke is his new thing. It's making him look stronger as a character and as a stronger United States champion. And if we didn't notice, guys, if you ain't noticed, we got a blue mat in the ring. No blue ropes, no prime in the ring, blue mat. Crazy, right? Blue mat. Just want to notate that. They're cementing SmackDown. I wonder if it's going to be a red mat for Raw on Netflix on Monday. But we'll see. But anyway, LA Knight came out. He attacked Shinsuke after the match. And we do know that Shinsuke is being built as a great champion. Now, LA Knight, he had a pop when he came out. He attacked Shinsuke, and he cut a promo backstage after, and he talked about in the ring. He wants to fight Shinsuke. He wants his United States title back. And they're gonna have exactly that. LA Knight's gonna get a rematch for his United States belt that he lost at Survivor Series War Games. But it was a very, very good first match of SmackDown. Very good match. Now afterwards, backstage, Pretty Deadly and Legado del Fantasia got into a fight backstage. The whole pre-day line on Angel Garza and Humberto attacking Street Profits. Really, really silly though. But we'll see what happens. That was the end of that particular match. Let's move on to the next match of the show. We had the next match, Michigan versus Piper Niven, 1-on-1. Now this match here, a very good match. Now we knew Michigan was going to get her hands on Piper Niven because Piper Niven would play the role in why Michigan did not win the Women's United States Championship at Saturday night's main event when she interfered in that matchup. And Piper's pretty much the muscle with Chelsea Green. Let's just call it what it is. But anyway, Michigan, she used her quickness. She kept Piper Niven moving. She used everything in her arsenal to take Piper down. But Michigan did able to get her with eat the defeat. She got Piper Niven with that. And we know that at some point Michigan is going to challenge Chelsea, and they're going to run that back for the Women's United States Championship. But then we saw Chelsea in her glamorous patriotic clothing, and then the cannonball between both women were good. And then Michigan did a little long back dance. But that was the end of that match. Let's get on to the next part of the show. We had a segment here. Now, what's crazy here, we had Solo and Paul Heyman segment. Now, we know that this is to set up for the whole, Solo versus Roman at Netflix episode on Raw for the Ula Falah. So we already know that's what's going to be the case here. With that being said, the way this kicked off this whole segment here, we also know that they talked about Roman losing his belt and all that. Now, what happened here was Heyman came in. He said that Roman turns attention to Seth Rollins. He mentioned that the Ula Falah, Roman earned it. How Roman said he earned it. Then he said that that Solo stole it from Roman. Then he said he got rid of Jim Uso, the Wiseman, everyone. Then he brought Tama Tonga, Jacob Tonga. Now, Paul Heyman was almost done as Solo came out. And Heyman told Solo that he's 10 seconds away from pissing his pants because the last time he said that Solo's tribal chief, he got put through the table and was taken out of commission. And if he knows not to cross the new bloodline in the worst way. But he also said, too, that Solo extended his hand for the microphone. We know that Solo told Paul Heyman that he wants to owe Paul Heyman a favor. He asked Paul Heyman, can someone hold the Ula Falah during a tribal combat match? Someone who respects the family, the bloodline, someone like a Wiseman, someone like him. Because he said that on Monday, if Roman beats Solo, he will announce Roman as tribal chief, and vice versa. If Solo defeats Roman, that Paul will put the Ula Falah around his neck, and of course Roman got acknowledged Solo as the tribal chief. And the fans was booing everything else, and that was pretty much it for that. It was a good segment, though. I guess Roman was not needed, but it'd been great if he was. But he already said his piece last week. But still a good way to hype up the match for Tribal Combat on Raw for Netflix on Monday. But let's get to the next part of the show, shall we? We got ourselves here a tag team matchup. DIY, the current tag team champions, versus MCMG. Now, this match here was for the tag team championships. Now, during the matchup, we know these two had tension alongside each other. We know all of that was going on. We know it was good back and forth. I know Tommaso Ciampa, Chris Sabin had a good back and forth. I know DIY took most control of the match. But I know at one point, Alex Shelley got a hot tag. He went right after Johnny Gargano. And he almost had Johnny Gargano beat at one point, but near fall. Now, during the match, as it was getting good, Pretty Deadly interfered during the match. They instructed MCMG, DIY was going to get the upper hand. Then Angel Garza and Humberto chased Pretty Deadly around the ring, yada, yada, yada. But the match ended in no contest. No decisive winner. And since the match do end in no contest in the tag team championship match, the champions retain. So yes, winner and still tag team champions, DIY. They are still your champions, guys. So expect a rematch between DIY and MCMG. Now we know originally they're supposed to go against the Street Profits because they wanted number one contendership to face DIY for the tag team belts. But unfortunately, at a house show that Nick Aldis announced, both members of Street Profits are hurt and they are out for unforeseeable future. So that pretty much going to be in the air. We don't know when they're going to come back. That's why MCMG was fighting this title match, not Street Profits. Just want to notate that. With that being said, let's get on to the next part of the show, one of the biggest parts of the show. Now, we're talking about we had ourselves a match. It was, yes, Naomi versus Nia Jax for the WWE Women's Championship. So they had their match. We know things gonna go down. Nia and Naomi, very solid between the women. Had a good back and forth. Naomi and Nia always put out good matches. I just want to notate that. They always have. Now every time these two women face off against each other, they always had a good match. I gotta give them that. However, we know at some point that it's gonna come to the point where it only becomes one decisive winner. Only one. And since that's the case, that's all come down to. And when they did have a good matchup, we know Candice LeRae was by ringside. We know that Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae got to a fight. Ringside was broken up by Nia Jax. Now, during the match, Naomi had a moment to recover during the match, but Nia was just dominating Naomi through the whole match. This is when Tiffany music hit. She came to the ring with a second ref. Last second, she threw the ref on the barricade as Nia looked up. But then she did hit Naomi with the briefcase. And then we allowed Nia Jax to hit her move to get pin Naomi to retain the title. Now, she got with Tiffany and Candice to celebrate, but we thought that they were swerving us again. But this is where the kicker came in. Tiffany hits Nia while she's on top of the rope. She brings the ref back out, says she's cashing in. She attacks not only Nia, but Candice LeRae. She even attacked Bianca after Bianca hit the KOD on Nia to make sure Nia was incapacitated out. So she made sure that was secure. And she hit the moonsault on Nia, and that was all she wrote. Next thing you know, we got ourselves a brand new WWE Women's Champion.
Now, prettiest moonsault ever! It's Tiffany time! Swerve the champion!
Congratulations to Tiffany Stratton, guys. New champion in the house. And this was well deserved. We all knew it was coming. Figure 4 TV called it out. He knew that was it. And now it's here. Tiffany Stratton is your brand new WWE Women's Champion. And she did that by being so crafty and well thought out of how she was going to get Nia Jax off her square and allow herself to cash in that contract. So we got to give it to Tiffany Stratton. That was a well played move. Very good way to cash in that contract. Very well. And we got to give her one of these. Since she's the new champion, let's take a moment and give her that. Just that. Let's see one. You deserve it, Tiffany. Brand new champion. Brand new champion. Tiffany is the WWE Women's Champion. Can't nobody take that from her. She did her thing. She shut it down. And it's great, man. It's great that she won that title. I'm glad she was able to become the champion. I'm glad she was able to take advantage of the opportunity that was presented in front of her. And now that she's here, Tiffany, there's no other thing to say, but like I said, you deserve it. Congratulations. Very good moment for Tiffany Stratton. Now we know she got her brand new side plate. We know that's going on with the belt. And you know, guys, backstage after she won, you know she had to take that famous photo with Triple H. Congratulations to Tiffany, brand new champ. So we can't wait to see what's going to be next move for Tiffany. I will talk more about that when we get to the bonus round. You know, so congratulations to Tiffany once again, brand new champion. Now let's get to the main event of the show. New Bloodline versus OG Bloodline. Now we know that these two, they've been beef for quite a bit. I know I like this. When this match first started, the ref called for the belt. It was pretty much like a tornado tag team match. Everybody came out putting that work. I know once the things got settled down, Jey Uso, Tama Tonga squared off, and then you know, everything was going great. But we know that OG Bloodline was not enough for the new Bloodline, and the new Bloodline was able to get the pinfall with Solo getting the pin. I think he got the spike to Jey Uso. But this was good. Very good. I like the match. And it was a good way to close out the show. I know people thought the Women's Championship was going to close it out, but it didn't. Very good part of the show, though, guys. Very good part of the show. Now, let's get to SmackDown before we get to the what went wrong, what went right. And, of course, we got to talk about current news. So let's talk about it. Now, what we got here, we had a non-U.S. title match, Shinsuke and versus Andrade. We had a tag team title match. We had that going on. And we had a 6-man tag match, main event, and a WWE Women's title match. Well, honestly, we had 2 women WWE Women's title matches. We actually had 2. So with that being said, guys, my rating on this current SmackDown, what would I give this SmackDown? Let me think. I gotta be honest. It was a very good episode. 5 out of 5. I think it was a great episode. I give it an A. It was an A. And I know it's seemed tough to give it an A, but it was well deserved. I mean, SmackDown kept us on our feet the whole entire time. They did. They kept us going. The show was intriguing. Some parts was annoying. It was good for the first 3-hour show, and I hope WWE keeps this format with a 3-hour show for SmackDown. SmackDown's never been 3 hours on a regular basis until now. But very good. Now, for those of you who follow me on my YouTube page, let's see what people are saying about SmackDown as far as ratings go. Let's see what the community tab say about it. All right, we got 80% people gave it an A, 20% gave it a B, 0% gave it a C, 0% gave it a D or F. But people thought very highly of the show. Well deserved. And that's the rating I have for it. Now, before we do, like I said, we'll go what went wrong and right with SmackDown. So there were some issues. Despite the high rating, there were some issues that I saw on here that needs to be rectified. So let's talk about it. We gonna go what went wrong with SmackDown. And we'll see what the issues may be on SmackDown, what could have been right, what could have been better. What's the whole thing about that? But we're definitely going to talk about that in a second. But I don't know, guys. Some things are just alarming to me right now. I don't know how they're going to do this whole thing. But like I said, we're gonna see more about these issues, if Raw decides to fix this or not. I hope they do, but then again, they may not. I just want to state on that. But other than that, though, we are going to see what the issue is on this current episode of SmackDown. Now, first thing is, let's go to the first issue I did see on this show that really needs to be talked about, guys. I know some people don't want to talk about it, but we got to talk about it anyway. And we're going to do just that. All right. First issue I saw, Chelsea Green as the Women's United States Champion. Now, you probably ask yourself, why you have an issue with that? I don't think Chelsea was the right choice for the championship. I talked about this on my Pink Square Circle channel. Chelsea, and I talked about this last week too. Chelsea Green is pretty much a model for the title. Instead of being a real champion like she should be, she's pretty much like a model. And they're modeling her to look good and present this image of the model woman, independent, whatever you want to call it, as champion. And it's not a good look. And I don't think, like I said, she's a good representation of the Women's United States Championship. I don't see it. I just don't. So you guys know what happens if I see something I don't like.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
She's not a good representation of the title. And some people have said this on social media. I just have a feeling with Chelsea Green. I know she just won the title. I know people say give it a chance. But the way they're pushing her now, I don't think she won't defend the title as much as we would like her to. And I think at this point that Michi should have been a better pick for the WWE Women's United States Championship. I honestly believe that. I think that's a problem. I don't think this will really help Chelsea like it should, and it won't help that title, especially if it's probably trying to bring prestige to a brand new women's championship. So that's how I see things. That's the only thing I can think about it. But yeah, I don't get it, guys. I just don't. But we're gonna see what else is gonna happen next. How they gonna book Chelsea Green's championship run. But I just don't see it, guys. I just don't see it. I don't. But we gonna definitely dive in more into that of how they're gonna do this. But I definitely gonna see what else next is gonna happen for Chelsea Green, because I just don't know. I don't. But with that being said, we gonna get into that. We gonna get into more, talk more about it. But I do know there's some stuff going on. All right. Now that was the end of that one. Let's get to another part of what went wrong with SmackDown. That was one part though. Because there's definitely more. All right, let's get into that right now. All right, let's see what the next issue is with SmackDown. Because there are some issues, let's be honest. There are some more issues. So let's get back to the next point. Now the next issue I see with that, and it's the Street Profits. The next issue I see, I heard Street Profits, they said he got hurt at a live event. This is not good for Street Profits as they're trying to build their way back into the WWE tag team title scene and also become a contender and potentially winning the tag team belts. At least that's how I see it. But anyway, Nick Aldis made an announcement about it, that they got hurt. They said they will be gone into the foreseeable future, meaning there's no timetable when they're coming back. Some people says on social media, says like in the 3-hour show, they couldn't find something to do. Also, I don't know about the Street Profits injury. They could be really hurt, but I think some of it's because WWE has hit a wall with them. They don't know what to do. That was said on social media about Street Profits. That's questionable. It's a possibility. This person could be right. But yeah, definitely something up with the Profits. They both heard something going on. But this is not looking good. Hopefully, if they are in a minor injury, they can come back. But we know what happens if I see stuff like this, right?
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Definitely made the list on that one. Profits are hurt right now. At a live event. I don't know what they're gonna do next with these guys. I have no idea. I don't know how they're gonna do this next. But we're gonna see what the next move gonna be. But I just don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know when they're gonna come back. I just don't know. I don't know what the whole deal will be. I just don't know. But other than that though, guys, we're gonna see what else is gonna happen on the show with Street Profits. I don't know how they're gonna do it. I don't know how they're gonna do this whole thing, but we'll see. I hope Profits are not bad with no real bad injury. Hopefully they come back stronger than ever. I hope so. But we'll see what else the next move gonna be. CeeLo, salute to you. But yeah, we need Profits back in motion. We need Profits to get them tag team belts. I don't care what anybody say. Because they ain't held the belt. Like I said before, it's been a long time since they held the belts. And they need to move forward with these guys. But we'll see what the next move is going to be with these guys as far as that goes. Well, let's see what else. Another thing I saw wrong with SmackDown. Because we not done yet. Michigan long back dance, not PG. WWE loves to point this narrative now that the WWE is not TV-14. It's still a family-friendly product. They love to say, too, that WWE is something that the whole family can enjoy. But yet you have a woman on here with a long back that clearly does not have no back. She's dancing and twerking on SmackDown. We also had Nia Jax making comments of at a WWE live show on SmackDown. She made some very derogatory comments. This is not no PG related stuff. This is more of a TV-14. WWE don't want to acknowledge that and say that's not the case, but it really is. I don't know why they're playing games like this. That's not the case. That is the case, WWE, and you need to stop the cap right now. You really need to. And with that being said, you guys already know what happens if I see something when WWE is trying to cover something up.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, definitely made the list on this one. A very, very bad list. But yeah, these this is not the case with these here. They're definitely not it's definitely not no PG stuff that they're doing here on WWTV. You got Evia champions. You got Chelsea Green, don't look like a PG champion. You got your women dancing on here, not PG related. You got Nia Jax making comments on a WWE live show. That's also not PG. So what gives, guys? Seriously. So y'all need to stop that right now and just acknowledge if it's TV-14, that's just what it is. Don't try to tear away from it for what it really is. That's all I'm saying. There's nothing I saw wrong with SmackDown. Nothing I saw wrong. This tag team here really gets on my nerves. I'm tired of Pretty Deadly. They're really annoying. They're pretty much the laughing stock, the mascot of the tag team division on SmackDown. We already got on the Raw side, we got the Alpha Academy of Otis and Akira Tozawa. Now they pretty cringe. So the whole thing with Pretty Deadly that give me cringe, besides their characters are very highly annoying. They first said that Angel Garza and Humberto attacked the Street Profits a couple weeks ago. And the Profits came after them. They had a match. They won. They beat them. Then it turns out they were lying. Apollo Crews came out and said, hey, Profits, these guys are lying. Murto and Garza now attack you. It was DIY. And then now they back in here. And now Nick Aldis says there's going to be severe consequences. And Legado, their Fantasia is coming at their heads saying, why are you lying on us? This whole tag team, anything with them is cringe. And you know what happens when I see something that's going cringe.
What's gonna happen? No. Words? No. You just made the list.
Yeah, this is really annoying with this team. They need to stop it right now. It's not really doing them any favors whatsoever. This whole tag team, and honestly, it's not just now with SmackDown on main roster. I didn't care for Pretty Deadly when they was on NXT. Even they held the NXT tag team belts. Didn't care for them either. Just for that, just because they're so cringe, another soundbite.
No. Words? No. You just made the list.
They're just not entertaining. Now, I know they originally came from NXT UK, but their music annoying, the characters are annoying. Even their matches not even all that great. It's just cringe. Cringe. And I'm talking about the character and the way they're booked. Before everybody get on there saying, oh, wait, is that why? No. I'm saying the way they carry, the way they built as characters in the storyline. It sucks. And I have not told a lie yet.
I'm tired of being nice. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So that's another thing I saw a problem with SmackDown. It was just too much, like enough already. That's how I felt towards it, at least. I thought they could have been done much better. But that's me. That's how I see the whole thing. So I know it's 3 hours. I gotta give them TV screen time, but don't do it for them. Just don't. Please don't. They don't really have no value on the show. They're just annoying characters. With that being said, I went over what went wrong with SmackDown. That's the end of that part. Now we're going to go over what went right with SmackDown. So we don't get into that right now. Now, despite me going off on what went wrong, the stuff I saw wrong, I'm going to now go over what went right with the show. What were the good moves that were made on this show? So let's talk about it. All right. The first thing went right is so obvious. The Tiffany Stratton cash-in was superb. Now, a lot of people were concerned of Tiffany may not be a good person to cash in the championship. She may not be good to they may botch her cash in and all that. But that really was not the case with Tiffany. Tiffany did a good job. And it was also good too because when we thought she was just teasing the cash in, we were swerved and she really did do the cash in after Nia retained her belt. So this is well thought out well. Now Tiffany, I want to say she's actually one of the longer women's Money in the Bank cash-in contract holders. Most of the contract holders we see, they hold on to it until the same night of winning at Money in the Bank, or the next few weeks after winning their Money in the Bank, or SummerSlam like Io Sky did, the last Money in the Bank cash-in winner. But she held this on for, I want to say, what? Almost 6 months. She won it at Money in the Bank back in July, mid-July, we in early January. So a good 5.5, 6 months, almost as long as Carmella, who was the original Women's Money in the Bank ladder match winner. So she held to the contract long enough, and I said that she was going to cash in either late 2024 or early 2025. She had to pull off the whole pink lemonade Money in the Bank contract, sell it for the holidays, Christmas presents, and for everything, and sell in the WWE shop. Well played. Well played of how they did this with Tiffany Stratton. I thought this was great. I had no issue with how her cash-in went. No issue at all. I think it was a great way of doing that. I had no issue with that at all. I think it was cool. And I can't wait to see, like I'll get into later, how they're going to book her WWE Women's Championship run. And then Nia Jax Championship at 153 days. But well played out. Very good. I have no issue with that. I think it was smart. Very smart. So with that being said, now I'm going to tell you how I feel when I do like something right. Very good.
Yeet.
So this was very good of how they were doing this. I love how her cash-in went. And yes, again, she's your champion, brand new champion, Tiffany Stratton. With that being said, let's get on to the next part of what I liked about SmackDown. Next part, Shinsuke is being built as a real champion and also at the same time putting prestige on the United States Championship. What do I mean by that? Him and Andrade had great matches. You know, they had a great match they put on. I like the rivalry between them, and I like how he won the match at Survivor Series War Games, and now he's gonna fight LA Knight. He's gonna get his rematch. Expect Andrade to get involved, maybe a triple threat for the United States belt. Ever since then, Shinsuke has had a brand new theme song. Ever since then, Shinsuke has been looking like a real threat. Ever since then, even the new bloodline don't want to mess with him. He's like a legit champion and a real good character. So I gotta give him his props on that.
Yeet.
So salute to Shinsuke. Salute to him. And salute to the booking, how they booking him. Because Shinsuke, let's be honest, he's been booked like crap for years. Whether he was a United States champion or Intercontinental champion, And I feel like it's the first time since Shinsuke being WWE, they're finally booking him correctly. So good job on that. Keep up the good work with WWE and how you guys do it. So very good. So we're gonna see what else is gonna happen next. But I can't wait to see what else is gonna happen. How they gonna do this whole thing as a whole. But it's really gonna be good. And yeah, I see how they gonna do this whole thing. Well, now though, I think it's a great thing of how they setting this up. So salute to how WWE's doing things, because they definitely doing something right, and I can't wait to see how they're gonna continue on. So that's good on WWE's end. Let's move on to another part of Raw that I did like. Let's get to another part of that right now. All right, another part of SmackDown that went right on this episode. Besides, we named a couple things already, but another thing I'm gonna talk about now. I want to say, as a whole, 2-3 hour shows for WWE for Raw and SmackDown. I think that's good for WWE, and I think we don't really pay attention to that. This is the first time, not just SmackDown going 3 hours. This is the first time we're gonna have 2 shows every week being 3 hours, Raw and SmackDown. And I think that's going to be a very, very good thing. Very good thing. I think it's going to usher in a brand new era. And I think this whole transfer window, that's going to work too. It will. And I think it's going to be great how they're going to set this up. Because whether we like it or not, WWE is doing the thing. They're doing it, and they're doing it well. They really are. But now we're getting brand new eras going on, brand new eras. And now we in the new year. SmackDown Ray returned to USA Network back in September, and Raw is about to debut on Netflix. So with that being said, this is really good for the brands. This is really good for what they're doing. This is really going to help out both shows. So this is amazing. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better having these shows on 3 hours a piece. It just all come down, like I always say, booking and how to set up the characters. You do that right, you got a bomb show. A very good show. Raw on Netflix, SmackDown USA, it's always going to be a lit show. So I like where this is going. Take notes, AEW.
Yeet.
So 2-3 hour shows is good for business. Very good for business. Now that's the end of what went right with SmackDown and what went wrong with SmackDown. We done covering both of that. Now we gotta go over current news. Current news: SmackDown Lowdown has been canceled. I don't know if you guys heard about that. Now SmackDown Lowdown, we know that it's a little segment of SmackDown that's on WWE page, but they quietly canceled after a 3-year run. This has been reported. Let me read the report about it. It says, as WWE rings in New Year with first ever 3-hour SmackDown, one show has quietly disappeared from the lineup. After running since October 2020, the post-SmackDown recap show SmackDown Lowdown is no longer airing on Peacock or the WWE Network. The show, typically hosted by Scott Stanford and Megan Morant, provide 30-minute recap of SmackDown biggest moments and exclusive backstage interviews with WWE superstars. Fans expect to tune in for the December 27th episode after SmackDown and Phoenix were left puzzled when the show's nowhere to be found. Responding to the fan inquiry on X, Stanford confirmed the show's face, saying it is not all wrapped up. It says they share no further details on cancellation, leaving fans to wonder why WWE decided to pull the plug without an official announcement. However, now this ain't the first time WWE has pulled the plug on this show. Back then, the beloved Talk of SmackDown was hosted by Renee Paquette and Daniel Bryan, both now in AEW. It was canceled in 2018 after a 2-year run. But it says, meanwhile, WWE is prepared to experiment with a Raw post-show following the January 6th debut of Monday Night Raw on Netflix. The post-show set to air on WWE YouTube and social media channels will feature Joe Tessitore, Wade Barrett, and Big E as hosts. A press conference also planned mirroring the format of premium live event broadcast. It's unclear whether the Raw Pro Show will become a regular feature of a one-time deal that marks Raw's Netflix debut. If it becomes permanent, it could signal the end of Raw talk, much like SmackDown Lowdown. So we could get the end of 2 shows here, possibly. So just want to announce that. All right, let's get to another announcement. Is WWE going to merge the championship belts? Now, this has been floating around social media, guys, of these championship belts. It's been going around. We currently, we have Cody holding on the original WWE championship belt. We know that. Now, we know that's going on. However, we do know that with that being said, that we do have the Winged Eagle belt as well. We have the Winged Eagle belt that Kevin Owens is holding. And we also have the WWE Undisputed Championship or Undisputed WWE Championship. They're saying these belts may be merged, guys. And if it's merged, it possibly could come out to this belt. This could be the new belt, guys. Maybe after the Royal Rumble, when Cody Rhodes fights Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble for the ladder match, we could get just that. We could get that. They could put both belts together and make it one. Now, I know some people would like to see the WWE Championship revert back to the Winged Eagle edition. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to see that? But that's what's going on right now. I don't know what to feel about that. But that's what they're doing. Apparently, we could get that belt. I don't know if that's what they're going to be the case, but it could be a possibility. Now, for those you don't know, who ain't familiar, let me bring you up to speed on this one. If you ain't familiar with the belts. Now, currently, this is the belt that Kevin Owens is holding. This is the WWE Winged Eagle Championship that was in the Golden Age era, held by many greats like Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, the Ultimate Warrior, Shawn Michaels, Psycho Sid, Diesel, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Yokozuna. I may have left somebody out, but I pretty much named most of the men. Bob Backlund too, that held on to that championship of that particular design. Now we know right now that Kevin Owens currently, we know this is going on for the title match. He's currently holding on to that title. And this is the promo poster for Royal Rumble in Indianapolis. We know that. But they're talking about that belt and the original WWE Championship that Cody holds, which is, I call the logo belt, because ain't nothing but a big W slapped on the belt and with the side plates. But they're talking about merging both these belts together, and Cody, of course, holding that belt that design in the promo poster. But they talking about merging both belts. What do you guys think about that whole situation? Me personally, they go to this belt. This belt's ugly, horrendous, disgusting, pitiful, too bulky, and it don't even look like it merged with the original WWE Wing Eagle belt. If you take a good look at this belt, guys, it don't even look like the belt of the Wing Eagle. If you look the way that it's made, to be perfectly honest, guys, if you want to take a good look at it, if you want it to be honest, it don't even look like that belt to be merged. It don't. It looked like they merged another belt with the current WWE belt. That's what it looks like to me. That's how they got it looking. But I don't like it. I don't like this merged together. This is ugly. It's horrible. This is a bad combination of two belts being combined. Bad combination. Bad combination, in my opinion. Now, I will say this as well. The reason I don't like this belt too, it don't look like this belt here. It don't. When I think of it, the belt, the way it's merged, if you think about it, it looked like the belt that was the successor to this Wing Eagle Championship. And I'm talking about right now, I'm currently talking about the WWE or WWF at the time, Attitude Era belt. It looks more like the Attitude Era belt. Now, Stone Cold, he's one of the few people that's held the Attitude Era belt, if not the only one in the Wing Eagle belt. He had the Wing Eagle belt when he first won the belt for Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14, and then he went on and he kicked off the new era with the Attitude Era belt, and that's kind of like what this belt looked like. Look at the gold globe at the bottom. It kind of looks like that big globe at the bottom with the Attitude Era belt. It don't even look like the Wing Eagle belt like this belt. It has a little small globe, but it has a bigger globe that looks more like this belt. And you're going to merge that with the WWE belt, these two belts here. That's supposed to be these belts. It looks more like this belt than anything else. And that's what they're doing. And if that's what they're doing, I'm sorry, this is a big fail. Big fail. Big fail on this belt. So I don't like, if that's what they're going to merge this belt to be, trash. Straight up trash. And that right there is undisputed.
And that is undisputed.
So I don't like how they're gonna merge these belts. This is horrible. Not a good design. That's my take on that. That's how I see it. That's the rumors floating around with these belts. Zone, salute to you. What's up, my man? But yeah, let's get on to other current news. Current news. We're gonna talk about The Rock. Rock has bought TKO shares. It says here The Rock has acquired 96,557 shares of TKO stock in a new SEC filing today, worth an estimated $13.75 million. Rock now owns a total of 289,673 shares in TKO stock, worth an estimated $41.25 million as of press time. All I gotta say, I'm just gonna say this. If that's the case, no one invests that much money, especially the shares, for no reason. I would say with Rock doing that, he really is the final boss. WWE is expected to making moves. Now, I've heard rumors. They've been saying that Triple H may be demoted to a lesser position in WWE in 2025, or he may be pushed out. If Rock owns 41 million of shares and he has a seat at the board, that could be the case. We could see WWE making moves on TKO board and moving people around. So expect some moves to be made because it's a form of business. When Vince McMahon sold his shares of TKO, in 2023, early 2024, he was out, and that's exactly what's going on now. Vince is out of TKO. But when someone purchases shares, especially of this much of The Rock, who's already got a seat at the board, TKO, that means moves are going to be made. So what I'm saying is expect WWE to make some big changes in 2025. Expect that to happen at some given point. I don't know what moves exactly they're going to make, but some changes will be made within WWE because Rock is definitely making some final boss moves.
Yeet.
So expect that to happen with Rock. He gonna do that at some given point. I'm just saying, no one invests that much for no particular reason. I just don't see it. Why would they do that? You got to think read between lines. I don't see WWE doing that at all. They're gonna make some moves happen. So, with that being said, guys, that's what I see going on. Other than that, that's what I have for news, current news. I actually had quite a bit of news, actually. But with that being said, we're gonna switch gears and move on to the bonus round finally, and we're gonna talk about Tiffany Stratton. So let's go and do that. Give me a couple minutes, and we're gonna get that started. All right, guys, we hit the bonus round. Let's talk about it. Now, we know that Tiffany, like I said, just won the WWE Women's Championship. She cashed in on Nia Jax after her retaining the championship against Naomi on SmackDown on the first ever 3-hour show. She swerved us, got a good one, but now she's a champion, brand new champion. Now, the thing about it is, now that Tiffany is officially the champion, after she, like I said, had a great performance of what she did, of how she set this whole thing up. Now that she's champion, we got set up. We got to think about it, guys. How is Tiffany going to be booked as champion? Because we know that there are going to be a line of opponents in the women's division to challenge Tiffany for a brand new one WWE Women's Championship. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a list of possible opponents for Tiffany Stratton, and we got 5 to be exact. And we're going to name a person, talk about them, and see why there should be a good, affordable opponent for Tiffany Stratton as she starts her brand new championship reign as WWE Women's Champion. So let's kick it off. Let's go down the list, shall we? No particular order. I'll start from the top. Now, the first person I will mention that's one of the top people that's going to definitely have a reason to challenge Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship is Naomi. Now, we know Naomi. Think about what's unique about Naomi. Naomi was in the Women's Championship match that she did when she challenged Nia Jax for the WWE Women's title. We know that was the case here. So we know that was going on. And we know that, like I said earlier, Naomi and Nia have very good chemistry. And we even saw some points when they fought against each other that maybe Naomi could have got close to winning. We know that Naomi could have, if it weren't for Tiffany attacking Naomi with the briefcase, Naomi could stay her case that, hey, I could have defeated Nia and become the new WWE Women's Champion had it not been for Tiffany Stratton. So expect Naomi to challenge Tiffany one-on-one for the WWE Women's Championship at some given point, and they could have a little match there. Could be on a PLE, not a big PLE, just a regular PLE or a regular episode of SmackDown, maybe even main event SmackDown, because Naomi really got screwed out of this championship match. She lost to Nia because Tiffany interfered. So now Naomi could say, I'm going to fight the new champion, which would be Tiffany Stratton. So that could very well go in that direction if played right. Very well could be. So she's one opponent that could challenge Tiffany for the championship. Let's go on to the next opponent for Tiffany Stratton. And this is pretty much obvious. The previous champion, Nia Jax. Nia Jax and Tiffany, we know those two have had history. They were allies. We know that. Now we know that Nia Jax was not always kind to Tiffany Stratton. We know that, especially when Candice LeRae got into the mix. You know that Tiffany was being treated unfairly. We know that was going on. So we know these two, they had a very good bond going on. We know that was the case. We know these two, they always look good together, hanging out and everything. We know that. So that's no secret with these two. And, it's just, unfortunately for Nia, when you do mistreat people unfairly, they don't forget that, and they cost cash in the contract on you. But like I said, if you guys remember, Nia and Tiffany, they were friends. They look good. It was always hanging out, taking photos together. If they ain't taking photos together, they were sitting around looking silly. We know that with these two. But now it will be no more of that because Tiffany now is champion. and Nia wants her title back. So we know that will be the case here. So Nia will definitely get a rematch for her WWE Women's Championship since she did lose. That's crazy because Nia lost her last championship like that to Alexa Bliss. Same way, Money in the Bank contract cash in back in 2018. Deja vu. That's a real thing with that. So Nia Jax will be another opponent for Tiffany Stratton. Now let's talk about it. There are some more opponents. We covered Naomi, Nia Jax. Let's get to another opponent. Another opponent I want to talk about that's going to be a potential opponent. Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is another one. She's another one that's going to be challenging Tiffany Stratton for her brand new one, WWE Women's Championship. Now, think about this here. Don't think about that. We do know that these two have been it's been pretty much not the best between these three. We know that's the case here, especially when Candice started to get close to Nia. We know that Tiffany, the focus was not on her anymore. We know that. And since that's been the case here, it's caused some tension not only between Nia and Tiffany, but also right off the bat, some beef between Candice LeRae and Tiffany Stratton. We know there's been some beef there as well. So we know that that's going to definitely create a rivalry there between these two because we see it. We see that Tiffany was pretty much left out of dark when it came to Candice LeRae. She got close, and she was more close to Nia than Tiffany was close to Nia. And that's what led her to being attacked by Tiffany Stratton when Tiffany Stratton cashed in that Money in the Bank contract. We know that was the case, and that's what caused her to be champion. But expect Candice LeRae to be another opponent for Tiffany Stratton. They'll have a one-off match similar to Naomi and Bianca to Naomi, and they can have a one-off match, and that'll be it. On SmackDown, maybe, preferably. But let's get on to another one. Let's go to another opponent for Tiffany Stratton. Another person, Bianca Belair, the EST. Bianca Belair plays another good important role because Bianca Belair was the one who hit the KOD on Nia Jax to take Nia Jax out and allow Tiffany to cash in. So Bianca Belair had a big assist there. And we know that Bianca Belair is going to feel some type of way, especially after Tiffany Stratton attacked her after that. And we know that too that she's going to want to challenge Tiffany for her championship. Bianca still holds the record for longest and shortest reign for WWE Women's Championship. We know that. So we got to keep that in mind. Now, for those who don't know, who maybe they forgotten, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. If you guys remember that Bianca Belair was involved in the last Women's Money in the Bank cash in. She was involved in the last match. And back in 2023, when Io Sky cashed in to become champion. So Bianca's been a very vital point of these cash-ins when it comes to the contract. We know that because if you guys, if you don't remember, and if you don't remember, I'll remind you right now. But if you guys remember too, a while back, Bianca Belair, she's a great, besides being a great competitor, she was involved in the women's title picture. We know she's involved in the women's title picture. And what was so crazy about Bianca that she was initially in the last Women's Money in the Bank contract. She was in the triple threat for the SummerSlam 2023 against Asuka and Charlotte, which she did. Remind you, she did win the match. She won the match. And when she did win the match in this whole thing, she put on a great performance. We have to remember that. She put on a great performance. Not only she put on a great performance, like I said, she did go on to win the WWE Women's Championship before she was cashed in on Io Sky. And this is the second time she's been involved in the cash. She just was not champion. The point I'm making is she would challenge Tiffany for her brand new title. So expect Bianca Belair to be another opponent for Tiffany Stratton for that title. Now, last but not least, let's say the big fish for Tiffany Stratton, the one we all talked about, we all want to see. If she comes back to SmackDown, when she makes a return to WWE, Charlotte Flair, the Queen. She, of course, going to be the number one opponent for Tiffany Stratton's WWE Championship. Now, we know that that's going to happen at some given point between these two. We already know it's going to go down. Now, will it be a WrestleMania match? Will it be SummerSlam or any other type of big PLE stage? Yes, I see that happening. I definitely see that happening. Thing about it is, this has been floating around for months with social media when it involves these two. We know at some given point, it's going to come down to these two. This is what all the fans want to see, and WWE is going to capitalize off that. They're going to do just that. This is the post they want to be talking about. This is the match, the big money match everybody want to see. Charlotte versus Tiffany at WrestleMania, whatever, like I said, stage they're on for WWE Women's Championship. Now, Charlotte does not have to win. She does not have to defeat Tiffany. It can put Tiffany over and make her look strong. But I think all these women, some way, shape, or form, will be great opponents for Tiffany Stratton. This will help her build her championship run as the WWE Women's Champion. Because now we got many opponents. Naomi, Nia Jax, Candice LeRae, Bianca Belair, and Charlotte Flair. 5 good opponents for Tiffany's title. So that's how we'll book her. She could keep on this belt till, let's say, maybe until the end of this year or maybe till after SummerSlam. You know, remember the Queen of the Ring, which would be this spring. That person, whoever woman wins that, they all may get an opportunity at the WWE Women's title or World title. They could come for Tiffany's title again. If they do, if it is a SmackDown star that wins the Queen of the Ring or the Women's Money in the Bank, whatever, they come for a title. She could lose a SummerSlam or near the end of the year or Survivor Series, whatever the case may be. But she got a very good, long, lengthy title run. That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. And that's how I will book Tiffany Stratton as the WWE Women's Champion. Those could be her opponents. That could be how she's booked, have a very good long rivalry. And they don't all have to be a one-off match. It could be a 2-3 match series. Naomi maybe one-off match. Nia Jax could be a couple matches. Candice one-off match. Bianca maybe a couple matches. And Charlotte Flair, of course, a series. That's how we'll book this whole thing. So you guys let me know how you will book that when it comes down to Tiffany Stratton as WWE Women's Champion, because we are now in Tiffy time. So that's all I have regarding towards that. You guys let me know how you book it. And of course, we talk about the surprise truth about SmackDown's first 3-hour show. You guys let me know what you think of the whole thing. Once again, congratulations to Tiffany Stratton, brand new WWE Women's Champion. So you guys check out the links below. Check out the content on here, guys. Check out the other content of lives, videos. Greatly appreciate it. Until then, guys, you guys already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.
Something happened this weekend. and I've been struggling with it since I retired. But this weekend gave me closure.
Wow.
It really did. Like, it was fun. Obviously, it was fun. I mean, you can't, doing this for as long as I have and being involved.